Oops. So let's delve into the topic today, if budget guitars are really worth it. First, we're gonna look at both the guitars, see how much they cost, see what they sound like, and give you my overall impressions of them so far. And then from there, we'll run through the pros and cons of budget instruments. Okay, so first up, we have this Headless Artist guitar. Now, I actually picked this one up for about $160 US, but they're selling at the moment for $190, so super cheap. First impressions with the body, it's mahogany, feels really solid. It actually has a bit of weight to it for a headless, which is nice. I absolutely love the design of the body. It's freaking awesome. Now for the neck itself, it has jumbo frets. We do go up to the 24th fret and it is multi-scale, which is nice. The only downside to this guitar I find is the fretboard. It uses Eco Wood or Tech Wood. There's a couple different names for it. I'm not a massive fan of it. But overall, I freaking love this guitar, man. For the money I paid for it, it is super cool. Alright, so let's hear the guitar. This is on the neck pickup here. Let's see how it sounds. Let's turn on some distortion and see how that sounds. They definitely are high output humbuckers, I'll give them that. Alright, let's play it on the bridge. So overall for the price tag, I don't really have any complaints. It's a great guitar. I can throw stickers on it and ruin it. Just needs a bit of a setup on the hardware, but overall it's a really nice guitar. Let's get to the Temu acoustic guitar now. Now this guitar was $40 from Temu. I did pick this up a while ago. It was in one of my first videos trying to play Polyphia on it. For acoustic, the difference between something like this and even a $500 guitar is huge. It's inconceivably different. So there's not much to say on this guitar, you know, it's cheap as all hell. I'm pretty sure if I just squeeze hard, I could probably push straight into it. We've got painted on binding, but it does work. I can give it that. It's got a very tinny type sound to the strings. Not really any low end to it. Not much high end either, to be honest. But you know, is it a guitar you can play in the first couple frets? Or maybe the first... If you don't worry about tuning, is it a guitar that you can play? Yeah, you can. The guitar works, you know. You can do techniques on the thing, but it just doesn't feel good. You know, for $40, if you can just fork out the extra like $60, you're better off getting a $100, you know, super energy range guitar. It's gonna be a world of difference. So yeah, you know, it is what it is. Let's talk about the pros and cons of budget guitars. So some of the pros for sure are you're not going to go broke buying guitar. You're not going to miss your mortgage or rent payments. It is way cheaper for the price. And even on the point of the cost, it's a great way to try out different types of guitars without forking out thousands of dollars for the top of the line. This is a great way just to try it out. Get used to that style of guitar and see if you want to upgrade for something more higher end. Or who knows, you might fall in love with the budget version, like I definitely have for a few guitars in my time. Now, pro number 2 is the playability of these guitars. So as I said with this Headless here, the design is awesome, and it just feels great to play. And overall, the quality of budget instruments has improved so much over the last 15 years. We're even seeing brands like Squier and Epiphone increase the quality of their beginner instruments or even lower the cost, which I think is great to encourage young players to get started without having parents forking out thousands of dollars on an instrument they don't know if their child's gonna play again. And pro number 3 is they're great instruments to mod. So they're great instruments if you like tinkering around, or if you even want to practice trying to do your own modifications at home. It's a great starting point without having to risk one of your more precious instruments. Now the cons. First con I will say that's pretty typical for all budget range guitars are the tuners are usually terrible. So if you're at home just practicing by yourself, it's not going to be a problem. But if you're thinking about using it for performance or recording or doing something that's even just really intensive with the pick, or you're doing lots of bends and stuff, you're going to lose your tuning pretty much, every couple songs, if not every song for certain styles. Number 2 is the electronics, and I'm gonna pair this in with consistency of the builds as well. For the most part, the electronics or the humbuckers and the pickups aren't gonna sound that great, but I think in the age of digital modeling, you can sort of tweak things enough to where you're gonna be able to find a good tone. But a big problem I've noticed, ironically with Squiers a lot, in past years, maybe the new ones don't do this, but you would always have wiring issues with the pickups or the humbuckers where suddenly one would stop working. Or you'd have the input jack, the screw would come off that and you'd have to fish it out from inside and put a new bolt on top. They're all pretty common things that you can expect with some budget instruments, but it's more rare than it is common, to be honest. And the third con is, generally speaking, you're probably not going to get the same longevity as you would with a really high-end instrument. But that is very highly subjective to how well you take care of it. But due to those faults of maybe having dodgy wiring, defects in the neck, in the body itself, generally speaking, the odds of them not lasting as long is a lot higher. But it depends on really what you're using them for. In most cases, if you take care of them, you should get a lot of life out of your budget guitars. Overall though, when you balance the pros and the cons out, it really comes down to why you're purchasing one. If you're new to guitar and you're just starting out, going for a good brand like Harley Benton or Artist, you're going to have a great experience, especially if it's off a reputable budget brand where they actually have customer support that you can contact after. I have some more reviews coming up, and I am working on some lesson material again, related to modes and triads and more music theory on the guitar. So if you're interested in them, feel free to drop a like or subscribe if you want to. If not, I appreciate you watching this video. So thanks so much again guys, have a great week.